Good afternoon, class, and thank you very much for coming on short notice. I thought it was important. Uh, I got some feedback from the administration about the last quiz, and it seems like there were many complaints. You can always come to me with these complaints. You thought the quiz was unfair and a little bit biased or so forth. So I redid it, and I'm happy to say that you all passed. You all passed. Uh, I thought that, I might be able to throw you a loop with, well, knife, fork, sledgehammer, spoon. What doesn't belong? You got every one of them right, so congratulations on that. You're taking a huge step towards your rehabilitation by learning these tests. Today, real fast, we're going to talk about real estate inspections. Now, when I sold new homes, I sold new homes for 100 years, and people would come in and they'd buy one of these things that was coming right, itching eye, coming right up out of the ground, and they'd want to have a home inspection. And I always considered that as big a waste of money, especially, as anything I'd ever heard of. You have a warranty, the builder's going to take care of you, the superintendent and the customer service guy are going to walk through the house when you buy it, but still people wanted them. Then I got off into the resale business, and I had this same attitude towards inspections. And I quickly discovered that I was wrong about it. They're a very important part of the process if you're representing a buyer. A home inspection. Okay, home inspections, and there's licensed inspectors, and these things can range anywhere from, geez, I've seen them as low as $200 and as high as about $650. For $650, you get a thing about that thick. It looks kind of like a New York phone directory, and it's broken every single part of the house down. However, that's the one-stop shopping. That's a good way to go if you just want to deal with this stuff, get it all quantified, get it on paper, and from there your agent will look at this stuff and he'll ask the seller for some repairs and see where that leads everybody. But if you're on a budget, you can save some bucks. There's a lot of stuff that can be done that doesn't cost a lot of money. When you stop to think about it, what is your house? Okay, what do you have to worry about? Well, you've got the roof. You've got the heating and air conditioning, obviously, the electrical system, the plumbing, the water heater, and does it have termites or does it have water incursion somewhere that's going to lead to a problem? So really, you can start with a termite inspection. You can ask for an inspection. It's going to cost you about $95, $95 to $100, and they're going to make their recommendations. You replace a fascia board. It's got dry rot in it. Usually rafter tails on an older house have to be cut off, and redone. But then sometimes there's important things like they notice that there's water incursion, say from a stall shower that's gone out, and you can see it kind of creeped underneath the linoleum in there. That's an important issue. So a pest inspection, not a bad investment for $95. So we're $95. Roof inspection. There's a wonderful company in the Sacramento area called Roof Doctors, and they'll do a very comprehensive roof inspection for free. And they'll make recommendations on repairs and what it takes, and they'll also offer a 2-year certification. That is to say, if something goes wrong with the roof or it leaks or something like that within a 2-year period of time, they will come back and they'll fix it. So that's not a bad thing to do. I'll tell a quick story. I sold a house about 4 years ago, a big house up in American River Canyon North. It was only about 6 years old. Gorgeous custom, absolutely beautiful in every way, somewhat new house. And I sold it to some extremely nice people who were referred to me and wanted to make sure I did a really super good job. And I never thought for a minute a roof inspection was important. I never even went with it. Got a home inspection. Well, my client, he was in there how long? 2 weeks? Torrential downpour. He calls me over to his house, and his family room, the ceiling is caved in. There's a leak up there. It filled up the attic, and down came the family room. So of course I felt obligated to him, and I had a contractor friend of mine go and make all the repairs. But it was a $3,000 lesson, and I could have averted that with a free home inspection, because there was a couple of valleys that were plugged up, a couple of busted, just enough to back up water, go into the attic, and the rest is history. It cost us a lot of money, but I felt it was important to stand behind the product since it was my stupidity. So I do recommend a roof inspection all the time. Now, the rest of this stuff, HVAC. You can call a company like, now there's all kinds of them that offer a tune-up for 89 bucks. And they'll do an inspection. You can call them out and they'll try to sell you some new equipment. They'll talk about the life of the product, if it's any good, how long you can expect it to last. You know, they put Freon in it. And basically, they're out there to try to sell you some new equipment. But at the same time, they're going to offer an extended service period for that fee. So that's one way to do it. If you know somebody in the business, you can ask them if they can just go over and look at the system. I'm trying to save money for particularly first-time home buyers. It'd be nice to say, just write this guy a check for 450 bucks and be on your way. But there's other ways you can get around it. But inspections are extremely important. You got your HVAC, your water heater. You can usually look at the water heater yourself and tell if it looks like it got any life left in it. You can flush the toilets. Now, on an older house, this is another lesson that was learned the hard way. For 125 bucks average, you can have a plumbing company come out and they'll run a camera from the sewer clean out all the way out to the street. So if there's something in there like a root, now homes that are built in the last 25 or 30 years, I think, have Schedule 40 ABS, and it's practically impossible for a root to get in there. But some of the older ones had either clay pipe or in some cases iron, and these things can break down and roots can get in there. Had that happen too. Lost a real good client because of it. She's never going to do business with me again because she didn't like to have sewage coming up from her shower pan. Again, my bad. Everything we do in this business comes at a price. Every lesson we have, we don't get a free lesson. We pay for it in one way or another. In this case, I paid for it by losing a client that's probably going to be ready to upgrade her house within about another year or so. And guess what realtor she's not going to go to? That'd be me. Sewer line inspection, 125 bucks. So there's all kinds of little things you can do. You can go through the house if you want to. For about 10 bucks over at Home Depot, you can buy a circuit tester for plugs. And one of them is a GFI. You plug it in, all the GFI areas, press a little button and see if it snaps. That'll tell you if the GFI is working. If it's not, that's an item that needs to be taken care of. You might even have an electrician friend look at it. We're trying to save money. The one-stop shopping, for 200 to 500 bucks, you can get a whole deal done, or you can save a few bucks if you have some friends in the business. But definitely do your inspections. You're going to find stuff that needs to be fixed. You may as well ask your seller to take care of those things before you close escrow. You can give them a whole laundry list, and you know what their obligation is to look it over, and they can do all of it, some of it, none of it. Or they might say, look, I'll tell you what, we'll credit you 800 bucks in escrow, and we'll call it a day. So that's kind of more leverage, and a lot of it's based on the inspections you do, the inspections you get done, and the results therein. Roof inspection, plumbing inspection, very, very important. Look over the water heater. You can always tell if that thing's any good. Electrical, take your little device and go around and see if it clicks. That's a good way. Anything that's in a ground contact, countertop, outlets and things like that need to be GFI. Obviously, any bathroom, the laundry room, any garage plugs have to be on that. And you can kind of put these things together, save yourself a few bucks, and get some peace of mind and get some stuff fixed. So when it comes to inspections, get them all at once, or you can get them individually and maybe save a buck or two along the way. But definitely get them. It's to your advantage.